Hello everyone, this is BravenTooth speaking, and since we had patch 2.6 to roll out to public PTU and CIG re-enabled TrackIR or head tracking in general, I'd actually like to show you guys how to set it up using FaceTrackNoIR today instead of the usual TrackIR 5 setup, which is extremely expensive and overly priced, and well, there's lots of drama around that. At any rate, what I would actually like to show you right now is what you need. So the first thing that you actually need is to get yourself something like this. So this basically is the IR tracker. It has 3 IR lights. This one has been created by Luke. I'm going to show you, well, his website in a second. This is a hacked PS3 camera, which tracks only IR light, and there's lots of fun tools with this tracker itself, with the clip. So, having said that, here's Luke's Facebook page, and he sells them through eBay, and he creates them on demand, basically. You can see all the stuff here, like videos with the presentation. I think the really cool thing about this tracker is that it also has it's wireless. Basically, it's running on let me find that picture again. It's running on 2 CR10 batteries, but you also have an option to just plug it in with a cable in case your batteries run dry. So aside of hardware, you're going to need some software. I'm personally using FaceTrackNoIR version 200. It used to be free, but it's not so anymore, and you can actually read the very sad story about the person who actually created it. And I didn't have any problems well, donating just that small amount for this amazing little piece of software. So let me start it. I'm starting, and I have a shortcut here which basically makes it so that it runs as an administrator. So basically it's as simple as this. This is the program itself. It's not currently running, as in it's not active. And to set it up, first of all, you're going to have to select your tracker source. We're going to use Point Tracker, but it has other options such as Face, API, Toby something, and I don't know what else. But we're interested in the Point Tracker based on the fact that we have a tracker which contains of 3 IR lights. So if you look here to the model tab, you can actually see that you have a clip, and it basically tracks the position XYZ of 3 IR lights. Here you have to set up your camera. I'm using the PS3Eye. I've changed it to lower resolution but higher FPS. So this has 120 FPS, 120 Hertz. Means it's going to track your movement more fluently, basically. So once you have that set up, I think by default it's 30 FPS with this camera and 640 times 480 resolution. So change that if you have this camera. I haven't changed anything here, and in general what I did only enable, and this is actually an important part, is disable roll, disable X and Y, and disable Z. I'm going to show you in a sec what does it actually mean. So let me start it up. So right now I've started it up, and you can see those 3 dots over here, which basically are the IR lights of my clip. And the camera is catching those. I don't have it really set up properly, and especially that I'm recording now, it's well, my flying position would be more backwards, but at any rate. So we've enabled pitch, which is turning your head to the right, as you can see on this thing, and to the left. I mean, yeah, sorry, that's yeah. And then there's pitch, which basically means you're looking up and looking down. And also Z, which you can't really see, but I'm kind of moving towards my my monitor a little. I'll speak about that in a second shortly. So just put this down a little. Okay, so once we have that set up, this is Point Tracker 1.1. you have to figure out what game protocol are you going to use, basically. So you have to select FreeTrack, which is basically a dummy version of TrackIR, so it makes the game think you're using the original TrackIR, kind of. So here are my options for this. You have to start dummy TrackIR so the game recognizes it. Select use TrackIR and hide FreeTrack, and basically you're done. Kind of. So it should work in game now once you start it. However, there's some things that you also need to set up, which is, for instance, inversion of yaw and pitch. So like if you look left without the inversion, the game is going to think you're looking right. So you know, just fidget with those options as well. Curves are extremely important. I haven't figured out mine completely yet, like mastered them in terms of what I really prefer and what works really best for me. This is something that Nimrod77 from Legacy Fleet suggested to me, but I'll still fine-tune them at some point. So what's really important is that you actually, for me, that's how I found it, that you limit your yaw and your pitch to 90 degrees, because if you go over the 90 degrees output, the game does not support looking around, well, turning your head further than 90 degrees. It's going to go all the way around, basically, so you're going to see some weird artifacts happening. I've set it to about 25 degrees left and right, and up and down, as that seemed to work the best for me. And one more thing on translation. This is the Z-axis, which is moving your head forward and backwards. It's a little trick that Nimrod also suggested to me to ensure that you don't have that ridiculous helmet strut thing, chin guard, or whatever it's called. You've also got some filters here which you can set up, and you can set up like a nice little curve here, whatever works best for you. There's some different filters you can use by default, minimum, maximum, etc. I'm still fidgeting, so whatever settings you can figure out that work for you, well, go ahead with it. Another thing that's important is to have a centering key binding. So I'm using a Warthog joystick, and I have it on button 5, so that it basically, once I press that button, it centers it. So, oh yeah, I forgot actually one thing about Lukeclip. So TrackIR is, I think, $150, and Luke's whole set, so the PS3 camera and the tracker itself, is about $30 or 30 euros. So a very significant difference, and you can actually look around on the internet for information about quite unethical practices of whatever the company that created TrackIR actually did. So having said that, and once you actually going back to FaceTrackNoIR UI, you can actually see that it started running the game protocol once I've selected it. This is important because that's the dummy TrackIR exe running in the background, basically, which the game recognizes. You can also save your settings here into a INI file, so you don't have to redo them every time, and you can have like different profiles. I used to do it with mouse look around back in the days, but not anymore. So let's fire up the game. Okay, so once you're actually in game and you've enabled, well, not enabled, but just started the tracker, so press the start button on it, you can already see that it started tracking. I've loaded up Vandal Swarm for the time being. So the important tip that Nimrod provided to me was that this helmet chin guard is absolutely fucking horrible and atrocious, and it shouldn't be like that, and that's just a kind of bonkered implementation. Actually, I see that something else is off right now. That's an interesting bug. I'll bug report it later. Anyway, you see that helmet chin guard. So the trick to that is, that's why we bound the recenter button amongst other things, is that you have to push yourself back on the chair to as far back as possible. Then you press the recenter button, and then you go back to your normal flying position. So you can actually see that the helmet chin guard disappeared, and you can just look around. Actually, I wonder if those HUDs just disappeared. Okay. So another important thing, let me pause it there, is you have to disable the look ahead mode, which is on by default, and it basically, when you turn your ship or something, it basically looks ahead for some obscure reason. I hate that part. I mean, especially even when you're flying fixed without any head tracking capabilities, it's still very annoying. It just throws off your aim and your flight completely for me. So you do that with right out and M, like Michael. So out M, see? Now when I turn my ship, oh wait, okay. Now when I turn my ship, disable? Yeah, out M, okay. When I turn my ship, it doesn't look ahead, basically. So that's one thing. And as you can see, actually the tracker is already working. I can look around, right, left, down at my MFDs. I can't really zoom in, but I have zoom actually bound on the toe brake of my pedal, so I use that for zoom basically. Let me recenter. Yeah. So that helmet chain guard is a little annoying, but you can get rid of that with that simple workaround. So yeah, that's basically all you have to do in game. The other thing is, if you have a ship that actually uses gimbals, you can see that when I start to look around, my pips are glued to that icon. So I could basically aim with my head right now, and we have one guy using it really successfully, like Hydro Big Bang. I don't think I could use that. I don't think my head is as a precise device for aiming as my hand for joystick is. So you can lock your gimbals and just, if you have them on some ships, with Alt J, I think. Wait, yes, Alt J or Alt K, one of those buttons. So now even if I have gimbals, they will be firing forward even if I'm looking somewhere else. So I mean, I guess that's it. Other cool oh, actually there's one more cool thing. If you have look behind you button bound somewhere, you can still look around when looking backwards, so you can see like who's going after you, where is he, etc, etc. So I'm personally going to use TrackIR, well, head tracking only for situational awareness. So like this guy is coming towards me and now he's off. I can just look towards where he goes and what he's going to do, and I can adjust my maneuver accordingly. And just shoot him down. Those are also not the pips I'm usually used to flying with, but yeah. Like I'm shooting this guy now, and there's that guy coming over. You can, have a look, have a little situational awareness, and I think it works best when you're flying amongst the rocks, so you can just see how far you're traveling, and I know it's very immersive, like extremely immersive. But as I said, I doubt I will actually ever use it for any sort of gimbal aiming. I'll just use it for situational awareness. And other than that, there's also the fact like you could do the whole Top Gun trick. So like fly in formation, fly above your guy if he was actually moving the same direction I was. Flip around, just keep an eye on him, fly in formation, like okay, we're going that way, okay, sort of. So yeah, a really cool tool, and I'm really grateful that it was re-enabled. It just changes the game completely for me. So yeah, I guess that's it. So since this was my first tutorial video, if you guys have if you have any questions, just drop them in the YouTube comments, or just drop by the 11-hour TeamSpeak, and I will be more than happy to try and help you out to set it up or something like that. Oops, blacking out here. Yep. Yeah, also Buccaneer is absolutely amazing, but that's a completely different story. So where is that guy? Oh, there he is, see? So just some really immersive fun. And if you're like really hesitant about whether or not to buy it, I mean, Well, there's the official TrackIR version, as I mentioned, TrackIR, which is 150 bucks or something, and you can Google it up. But basically, the TrackIR company, I forgot, Natural Point was the company name. They did some really shady and really cunty stuff, basically. So I would not donate a single dollar to their cause. For a piece of software that basically, piece of hardware that you can basically make at home for $15 or something like that. So that's why I picked Lukeclip. He's a really good and helpful guy, plus the fact that the IR clip basically is can be used wirelessly with just batteries as well. So yeah, enjoy your trackers if you decide on buying them. Support the small businesses like Lukeclip, and be nice to each other. So yeah, thanks. See ya.